Hi there, high level listeners. Welcome back to High Level Listening. This is our English language podcast where we help you sound more natural in English by having fun conversations in American and British English. I'm Kat from the United States.
And I'm Mark from the UK. And in today's episode, we're talking about the opposite from last week. So instead of talking about what we enjoy, we're going to talk about things we don't like.
Yes, that's right. And most importantly, we're going to show you how to avoid being too direct by simply saying, I don't like this, or I don't like that. Instead, we'll show you lots of phrases that are much more friendly and polite through our short stories about things we don't really enjoy doing.
Yes, that's right. Don't forget, we've got bonus materials ready for you in the Season 4 study pack. That includes the PDF transcripts, a picture dictionary, listening activities, and lots more. You can check the description below to find everything you need. Okay, so let's get started with today's episode. Kat is going to read her story first, and today I'm asking, Kat, what are some things you're really not into?
Well, I don't think I have a lot of glaring pet peeves, but I'm not a huge fan of really spicy food. It's just not my thing. I know some people are all about it, but I can't handle the heat. Of course, I'll eat it if I have to, but it's not something I'd choose. Honestly, I'm also not that big on camping. I do like being outdoors, but I'm just not a fan of sleeping in a tent or dealing with the bugs. And of course, I'd much rather chill with a few friends at home than go to a loud party. Okay, so I've used lots and lots of interesting phrases, and notice I never said the phrase, I don't like. I don't like. I actually never used that phrase once. So let's ask Mark the same question. Mark, what's something that you're not really into?
I know I'm supposed to because I'm British, but to be honest, I'm not really into football. Everyone's mad for it in the UK, but I've never been that into it. I don't hate it. I will watch it if I have to. I just won't go out of my way to watch it. Oh, and nightclubs are definitely not my scene. Too loud, too crowded, and I just don't enjoy shouting just to have a conversation. I'm more of a chat with a few mates in the pub kind of person. Okay, so just as Kat mentioned, I didn't say I don't like in my script either. There's lots of other ways to say that you're not a fan of something while still sounding friendly and keeping the conversation going. Again, don't worry if you didn't catch every word or phrase from our stories. We're going to go back to the start and go through them once again to help you understand everything we said about not liking stuff. So, back to the beginning of yours, Kat. Do you have any pet peeves?
Well, I don't think I have a lot of glaring pet peeves, but I'm not a huge fan of really spicy food. It's just not my thing. Okay, so let's start with the first phrase, pet peeves. Pet peeves. Now, Mark, I know for sure we say this in American English. Do you say pet hates?
Oh, I've heard that phrase, but I think pet peeves is just as common. Yeah,
Oh,
we say that in
okay.
the UK too.
I think I read it in a textbook actually once, and I thought, I've never heard of that phrase before. So maybe it's another phrase that some people use, but most of us will use pet peeves. And it is two words, pet, P-E-T, peeves, P-E-E-V-E-S. And these are things that annoy you, okay? If you have a few pet peeves, you hate when people do this, or you hate when things go like that. It's when you hate or it really bothers you. It really annoys you. These are some of my pet peeves. Oh, that's a big pet peeve of mine.
One thing I like about pet peeves especially is that it can be something annoying, but it can be a really small thing that is maybe completely fine for other people. Like a pet peeve is other people eating with their mouth open or like chewing their fingernails might annoy me. That's something like a pet peeve. It's like a small thing that doesn't bother everybody, but it bothers me, if that makes sense.
So you can use that phrase, but to be honest, I don't think I have a lot of glaring pet peeves. Glaring, we use this for obvious, okay? I don't think I have any glaring or obvious or big pet peeves, but I'm not a huge fan of really spicy food. Okay, here's our first phrase that we can use to replace I don't like spicy food. Okay? If you just said to me, I don't like spicy food. Okay. That's fine, I guess. It doesn't even bother me. Maybe I don't like spicy food, but the way that you say, I don't like this, I don't like that, maybe it sounds a little immature. It kind of sounds like a kid, like, I don't like spicy food. Ew, yuck. So it sounds a little too direct. So I've used a different phrase. I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a huge fan of really spicy food. We could use other activities or verbs with ing. I'm not a huge fan of cooking. I'm not a huge fan of cleaning my room. I don't think anybody is a huge fan of cleaning their room, but we have to. So when we use this phrase, it's a little bit more friendly and it keeps the conversation going. Now, I'm not a huge fan of really spicy food. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. So I actually have two phrases in this, not a huge fan of, and it's just not my thing. We could use any subject, anything you don't like. Cooking is just not my thing. Camping is just not my thing. Going to sports games is just not my thing. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's just not my thing. Very polite way to simply say, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Right, but much softer and friendlier.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go to Mark's side of the story. What's one thing you don't like, Mark?
I know I'm supposed to because I'm British, but to be honest, I'm not really into football. Okay, right. So I am from the UK, and in the UK, a lot of people love football. It's on TV every single weekend. Lots of people go to the stadiums. We have some very successful and big teams. So I feel like I should like football too. I know I'm supposed to. So that means lots of people around me enjoy it, and I feel like I should too. So sometimes people meet me and I say, I'm from the UK. And their next question is, oh, so you like football, right? And I'm like, actually, no, I know I'm supposed to because I'm British. So yeah, if you know that people will expect something from you or assume that you like something, but
like
you
a stereotype too. Yeah.
It's a bit of a stereotype. Yeah, it's like, oh, you're from India? Oh, you must love cricket. Or I don't know, if you're from Korea, you must love spicy food. These kinds of assumptions that people make, you can address those in advance. I know I'm supposed to because I'm British, but to be honest, I'm not really into football. The first part is important. To be honest, if you're about to share an unpopular opinion or you're about to say something negative, to be honest, this is a way to prepare the other person for what you're about to say next. And it could be something surprising or something the opposite of what they like. Maybe you have a friend who loves horror films and you're like, oh, to be honest, I'm not really into horror films. And there's a soft, polite way to say that you don't like it. If I was talking to a friend and said, oh, I don't like horror films, that shuts down the conversation. It's quite blunt and direct, like you were saying before. So the softer way, to be honest, I'm not really into football. I'm not really into cooking. I'm not really into spicy food. That's a softer phrase. Okay, so back to your side, Kat. Some people really like spicy food though, but you don't?
Oh yeah, I know some people are all about it, but I can't handle the heat. So this is kind of a good way to say, I know people like it. Of course people like it. I know some people are all about it. If you are all about something, you love it, you try it, you make it part of your personality, right? So I'm all about Okay, Mark, you've got the American flag. I'm all about health food. I'm all about cooking at home. Means I really, really like those things. All right. So is that an American
Mm.
phrase, Mark?
It seems that it's something I know. It's a phrase that I've heard before, but it's not
Mm,
one that I would say. I
okay.
will use the phrase in my part of the story next. But
Excellent. So I know some people are all about it, but I can't handle the heat. So if you can't handle something, maybe your body doesn't like it. Maybe you find it maybe a little gross or a little bit difficult to eat. This is a good phrase, especially for food you might not like. I'm so sorry, I can't handle the heat. I can't handle spicy food. What we really mean is my stomach or my mouth or my tongue can't handle it, meaning I can't eat it. I'm so sorry. I can't handle spicy food. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. I know some people are all about it, but I can't handle the heat.
I feel like if I had a friend who like invited me to an amusement park or a theme park with loads of roller coasters, I would hate that. So I'd say, I can't handle roller coasters or I can't handle heights. So like you said, if it's something kind of scary or makes you feel uncomfortable, this is a good way to say it politely.
All right. So I'm kind of surprised, Mark, that you said that you're not really into football or not into soccer in the United States. That's kind of surprising.
I know everyone's mad for it in the UK, but I've never been that into it. So yeah, everyone's mad for it in the UK. So Kat was said, some people are all about it. Maybe a more British version where people are mad for it, or everyone is mad for it. Mad for it actually means they really, really like it. They love it. They are huge fans. They watch their team every single match. Maybe they own some of the clothes as well. Everyone's mad for it, but I've never been that into it. So from a young age or for a long time, I have never been that into it. So over many years, my opinion hasn't changed. I don't really like it now, and I didn't really like it in the past, and I have never been that into it. So that's another phrase you can use to politely say that you don't really like something, and especially if you haven't liked something for many, many, many years as well, or for your entire life. I've never been that into it. I've tried, I've watched football, and I have friends who do, but I don't know. I've just never been that into it. So back to your side. Last words about spicy food. Do you just avoid it then at all costs?
I mean, I'll eat it if I have to, but it's not something I'd choose. So sometimes you order things by accident. Maybe you don't realize it's going to be really spicy. So I'll eat it if I have to, but it's not something I'd choose. Also, if I get invited to somebody's for dinner and they make something spicy, I will eat it. I'll eat it. Okay. I'll eat it if I
Mm.
have to. I won't be rude. All right. I won't say, ew, I don't eat spicy food. I don't like spicy food. I mean, I'll eat it if I have to. I'll do it if I have to. I mean, I don't really like it, but I'll do it if I have to. We all hate doing chores, right? But, I'll do the chores if I have to, but it's not something I would choose to do, right? I'll eat it if I have to, but it's not something I would choose if I had some options. Okay, that's kind of the rest of the sentence there. It's not something I'd choose. If you gave me spicy and not spicy, it's not something I would choose if I had the option. All right. So, Mark, do you watch soccer at all?
I don't hate it, and I will watch it if I have to. I just won't go out of my way to watch it.
Good
So,
phrase. Yeah.
yeah, right. It's similar to your answer. I will watch it if I have to. So, again, maybe I'm at a party or an event and there is football on the TV. I'm not going to say, oh, can we change the channel? I'm not going to be that guy. I will watch it if I have to because I don't hate it. Hate is a really strong word,
Yeah.
and it's it's wrong to say that I hate football, like I get angry or something when it's on. So yeah, I will watch it. I understand why other people enjoy it. I don't hate it. I will watch it if I have to, but I won't go out of my way to watch it. So if you go out of your way to do something, means you make time so you can do that thing. Maybe if I was a big fan of football and my friend said, oh, hey, are you free this Sunday? If I was a big fan, I'd say, oh, sorry, there's football on this afternoon. I'm going to stay home and watch it on TV. That's me going out of my way. Or maybe I go
Canceling
through
plans. Yeah, exactly.
right? Or maybe I'd go through town and I would try to find a pub showing the football, and I would walk from one to another until I find it. That's me going out of my way, making a lot of effort to try and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that. I will not go out of my way just to watch it. I won't make an effort or make time to watch football. If it's on and I'm in the room, okay, fine, I'll watch it, but I won't change the channel. I won't go out to see it, and I definitely won't pay to see it either. I won't go out of my way to watch it. Okay, so you talked about spicy food as pet peeve number 1. Are there some other things that you don't like?
Well, I'm also not that big into camping. So we have a phrase here. I'm also not that big. And we can use the word into or on, and it means the same thing. I'm also not that big into camping. I'm also not that big on camping. This is another way if you are big on something, but it's kind of interesting. Do we use this in the positive sense? Like I'm big into or I'm big on camping?
I think
Would
we
you
said
use
it last
that?
week in the I like episode. I'm big on pub quizzes, or I'm big into pub quizzes, or something
That's
like that.
interesting. I don't think I'd use it very often in the positive way, but I would definitely use it in the negative to be more polite. I think because
Hmm.
in English, we really want to try to be polite and really give us lots of different phrases instead. So I'm also not that big on camping. I'm not that big on spicy food. I'm not that big on This is another way to say the same thing. I don't really like it. I don't really like it. What about you, Mark? Is there anything you're not a fan of?
Oh, nightclubs are definitely not my
Mm,
scene.
not my
So,
scene.
yeah, definitely not my scene. This is probably the strongest, or one of the strongest phrases we have. If I say, oh, or if a friend asks me, do you want to come to a nightclub tonight? And I really don't like nightclubs. I'm like, nightclubs are not really my scene. They are
And that's
places.
nicer than what you said, right, Mark? So you said
Mm,
definitely not my scene, not really my scene. Very
mm.
different in the way that you said that as well.
It's true. Yeah, the words really and that help to make it softer. They kind of turn down how strong it is. So it's not my scene is strong. It's not really my scene is a little bit softer and maybe a bit friendlier. Not quite my scene would also make it softer as well. So that means when we talk about places, especially nightclubs, bars, pubs, restaurants, amusement parks, they're places that you don't really enjoy going. It could be the atmosphere of the place. It could be what you do at the place. In my case, nightclubs have lots of loud music and lots of dancing, and I don't really enjoy that. So it's not my scene. All right, so back to camping. So is there anything you like about camping at all?
I mean, I do like being outdoors, but I'm just not a fan of sleeping in a tent or dealing with bugs. So,
Fair enough.
um, one of the things that we like to do in English is if we're going to say something negative, let's try to balance it out with something positive, right? Yeah, I'm also not that big on camping. Okay.
Okay,
And,
cool.
right?
End the
So,
station.
because we want to keep the conversation going, I mean, I do like being outdoors, but I'm just not a fan of sleeping in a tent or dealing with bugs. I do like being outdoors. Why do we use the word do here? Because we're trying to balance that negative. I'm not that big on camping. I don't really like this. I do, however, like being outdoors. So that do kind of gives us that balance that we need. I do like this, but I don't like this. I don't really like this, but I do like this. It's just to give more emphasis on the positive. So we've got sleeping in a tent, and then we've got this phrase, dealing with bugs. Now, it's funny because we use this phrase to deal with something. We usually use it with a negative thing, like, ugh, this customer on the phone, ugh, I don't want to deal with them. Meaning, I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to fix their problems. I don't want to have this conversation. And then when you're dealing with bugs, you're trying to solve this problem too. You have to spray, they hit you, you're trying to keep them out of the tent. I don't want to deal with this. So I'm not a fan of sleeping in a tent, and I'm not a fan of dealing with these bugs, right? Trying to solve the bug problem.
That's fair. Yeah, you wake up kind of cold, a bit damp, and then there's a spider at the top of your tent looking down on you.
Ugh.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. I'm not a huge fan of camping either.
There we go. See, we had a nice conversation,
Okay,
even though we don't like things, right? Okay, Mark. So it's definitely not your scene going to nightclubs. What's so bad about the nightclubs?
They're too loud, too crowded, and I just don't enjoy shouting just to have a conversation. So,
Grumpy old man.
I am, right? Yeah, I'll sound even older in my next sentence too. But yeah, the main reasons are they're too loud and too crowded. Too, T-O-O, is always used in a negative way as well.
Yes.
I've heard some students say, oh, it's too nice or it's too good, but that doesn't make sense in English. Too is only a bad thing. Too means it's too much, meaning you can't do something because of it. So too loud means I can't hear my friends. Too crowded means I can't find any space. And yeah, so nightclubs are often full of people playing loud music, and then the people talk loudly because the music is loud, so everything is loud. It's too loud, too crowded, and I just don't enjoy shouting. I just don't enjoy is another way to say you don't like something. Just, again, makes it a little bit softer. We're using really, quite, just to make it softer and more polite. I just don't enjoy shouting just to have a conversation. So even if my friend is sitting right next to me, I have to shout right in their ear so they can hear what I'm saying. And then maybe I get a sore throat, maybe I lose my voice the next day and I sound quiet and sick. So yeah, those are some reasons why it's just not my scene. Okay, so last part of your script, Kat. Is there something you would rather do then instead of camping?
I mean, yeah, I'd much rather chill with a few friends than go camping or than go to a loud party. Instead of saying, what do you prefer? I prefer. Or instead of saying, what do you like to do instead? You can actually use, what would you rather do? What would you rather do? It's the same as saying, what do you prefer? Or what would you like to do instead? Oh, I would much rather chill with a few friends than do this. So I prefer spending time with my friends to a loud party. I'd much rather chill with a few friends than go to a loud party. All right. So I'm choosing spending time with my friends. I would much rather do this. I would much rather chill with a few friends. That's relaxing, having fun, spending time with them, than go to a loud party. A loud party, we're yelling at each other. The drinks are flowing. People start acting silly. Nah, I'd much rather chill with a few friends.
All right. Yeah. So we're on the same page with that one. That's not my scene either.
Yeah. So, Mark, what do you prefer?
I'm more of a chat with a few mates in the pub kind of person. So my last one is quite a long one. I'm more of a chat with a few mates in the pub kind of person. So the main parts are I'm more of a blank person. Typically, you'll hear this, I'm more of a calm person. I'm more of a relaxed person. But between more of a and kind of person, you can actually put more complicated and descriptive things inside. So I like to chat with a few mates in the pub. I'm more of a chat with a few mates in the pub kind of person. Or I like
Yeah.
to play football in the park. I'm more of a play football in the park kind of person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can take the activity that you enjoy, you can add lots of detail to it, including who and where, and you can say, I am that kind of person. I'm more of a stay at home and watch TV kind of person. Literally any activity that you like to do,
Yeah.
you can say that that is what you prefer with this phrase. So yeah, I'm more of a chat with a few mates in the pub kind of person. So I'm curious to see
Ooh,
the comments below. I want to see what people come
yeah.
up with that one.
Let me try one too. So I'm more of a sit with my cats at home on a Friday night kind of person.
Nice. Yeah, see loads of detail. Yeah, it's a
Yes,
really good phrase.
it is. That's kind of fun.
Uh,
Okay, so now that you've heard us talk about the things that we're not that into, let's listen to the stories once more. Well, I don't think I have a lot of glaring pet peeves, but I'm not a huge fan of really spicy food. It's just not my thing. I know some people are all about it, but I can't handle the heat. Of course, I'll eat it if I have to, but it's not something I'd choose. I'm also not that big on camping. I do like being outdoors, but I'm just not a fan of sleeping in a tent or dealing with bugs. And I'd much rather chill with a few friends than go to a loud party.
And here's my story once more. I know I'm supposed to because I'm British, but to be honest, I'm not really into football. Everyone's mad for it in the UK, but I've never been that into it. I don't hate it. I will watch it if I have to. I just won't go out of my way to watch it. Oh, and nightclubs are definitely not my scene. Too loud, too crowded, and I just don't enjoy shouting just to have a conversation. I'm more of a chat with a few mates in the pub kind of person.
Okay, so now it's your turn. What's something that you're not a big fan of? Write a comment down below and try to use some of the new phrases from today's episode. We love reading your comments and we reply to every single one.
We definitely do. And don't forget, you can get the bonus materials for this episode and all of our previous episodes as well in the study pack below. Again, that has the PDF transcripts, it's got listening activities, a brand new picture dictionary, and lots more. So the link to that is in the description below.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll catch you next time with another episode of High Level Listening every Monday.
Bye bye.